And we now go to Munich. Standing outside the courthouse is Vural Ünlü, the head of the Turkish community in Bavaria. Welcome, Mr. Ünlü. Now, the trial started on Monday after weeks of delay and it's been postponed again. What's your reaction?
Well, I think that the families of the victims are very disappointed. They have to rearrange their travel plans. They have to ask for new leave with their employers. I think what we see here is a classical might play, muscle play between the judge and the lawyers of Zschäpe to the detriment of the victim families.
Now, it's been a long wait for the relatives of victims to get justice. Do you think this trial will meet their expectations?
Well, we hope so. I think, of course, the families expect a hard punishment, but also the expectation is that we'll get new evidence on why the state has failed so much throughout the last decade to prevent and to solve the case.
Now, how difficult has it been for the relatives to see the main accused, Beate Zschäpe, who looked very composed and confident with no trace of remorse on Monday?
Well, we've seen a very confident Beate Zschäpe. She came in, turned her backside to the family victims. She then sat chewing her gum, and we didn't see any sign of regret or grief. I think we'll not be able to get any sort of confession from her throughout the case.
Now, 5 of the alleged murders took place in Bavaria, where you are. What kind of impact did those murders have on the Turkish community there?
Well, it's a very horrifying situation because the majority of the murders have taken place in Bavaria, which is supposedly the most secure of all states in Germany. So we expect, or we assume, that there are additional supporting structures and helping hands which are still active here. So this is a major concern still for the Turks living in Bavaria.
And of course, there have been accusations that the investigators were either ignored or were blind to right-wing extremists. That is obviously a view shared by many in the Turkish community there.
Well, I think blind is a very tough word. I think short-sighted is the more adequate term. In fact, the police and the investigation authorities have only investigated in the organized criminality and have not taken a look on the far-right extremism. I think there are still some major structural and also mentality problems with the German police authorities.
Now, Vural Ünlü, the head of the Turkish community in Bavaria, thank you very much.